Hello everybody, my name is Memo, this is my channel FancyMemo, and welcome back to this week where I talk about the best and worst music, this time for 2024, which has actually been a really amazing year for music. There has been a lot of great music released this year. I can't wait to talk about it, but before we do that, we have to go through the bad in order to get to the good. So today, I will be talking about the 10 worst songs released this year in this video. And yeah, I've got some stinkies to talk about, so let's talk about it. But before we do, if you like music related content like this, please subscribe, since that is what I do here. And if you're already subscribed and you want more of this for some reason, check out my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you like basketball, more specifically NBA basketball, check out my basketball podcast. It's called Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. Check it out if you're interested. And yeah, let's just jump into it. Why not? Let's get into this. We do have an honorable mention. I do have a, dishonorable mention, I believe is what it's called. And it's Gwan, Delilah by Snow Day featuring Drake. I know this song has been in a lot of people's end of the year worst lists. And there's a lot of great reasons why, with them overdoing the accents, the horrible auto-tune, the awkward sounding, rhyme schemes at times, and the fact that this was the first piece of music Drake was a part of after the beef. That is all just horrible timing. With that said though, I do think this song is funny. I do think it's funny to listen to. It's not a song I go back to at all, but it's entertaining in the fact that it's so bad it's good. It's so bad that it makes me laugh. It's funny, and I think that's kind of the point of this song. I don't think Snow Day and Drake were trying to make a super serious song that'll end up on the charts or end up in the best of the year list. I think they were just trying to make a goofy song, and that's what they did. They made a goofy Canadian version of Hey There Delilah. Although I do understand why a lot of people don't like this song. I do understand why this would be considered one of the worst songs of the year. I get that. But at the same time, I think it was supposed to be a haha track. I think it was supposed to be a funny track. And I do think it's kind of funny. I think it's weird and silly. And I didn't take it too seriously because I don't think the track was supposed to be taken too seriously. So that's why it's a dishonorable mention. I just wanted to shout that song out because I knew people were going to wonder why that song wasn't in my list. But if you're wondering if Drake just missed the list completely, nope, that's not the case, because at number 10 I do have Drake with The Heart Part 6, his final diss track towards Kendrick Lamar, where he is simply just spiraling. This is a very ironic track. He starts off the track with the line, "The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling." And ever since this track was released, we've seen Drake spiraling. This track in general, he is talking nonsense all over it. He is talking about how Kendrick Lamar is lying about these pedo allegations when it's very apparent through your history of talking to minors, through the video of you kissing a minor, through your weird behavior over the years, that there is a good reason why people would call you that, So it's weird that he is saying that those are all lies, but then doubling down on Kendrick beating his wife, even though there's been zero proof. I've seen zero proof this whole year about that. Don't know where that came from. On this track as well, he's talking about how Kendrick is getting told these information by clowns, and then a few lines later is talking about how he and his team gave Kendrick all the information. So what, are you calling yourself a clown? What's going on? There's just a lot of bad lines here, like him not understanding Mother I Sober. That was a cringe moment. The A minor gotta be sharp, D flat D major line, I think that was a stupid line. And then just him desperately trying to rescue his reputation by saying that he's not a pedo, even though he brought up the Millie Bobby Brown situation kind of in this song. He's just desperately trying to come off as someone who is not in the wrong when clearly he was. And that's why I don't like this track. I guess the rapping is fine. The beat is not that interesting, but it's not a bad beat whatsoever. It's just the lyrics here that are so desperate to try to win this rap battle that he had no chance in winning. And the outro as well, it's just all corny. It's all desperate, and he just ended up sounding like he was spiraling on this track. And ever since this track, as I said, he's been spiraling. He is now streaming with people like Aiden Ross. What a loser. Like, what are we doing? You're supposed to be one of the biggest rappers in the world, and you're doing kick streams. That's some loser work right there. Like, you genuinely can't come back from this. This is one of the worst diss tracks I've heard in my life, and it's not even the worst diss track on the list. I'll definitely talk about some other worst diss tracks, but right now let's talk about number 9, which is JoJo Siwa with Karma. This is a very, I don't even know what to say. This shouldn't exist. This is a song from JoJo Siwa, the child star, the kid that was like famous off of this like dancing reality show and then blew up after that, selling like rainbow bows to every little girl, including my sister. Funny enough, my sister used to love her music. Like Boomerang, that was a banger back in the day. But JoJo is no longer making bangers. Instead, she's making songs that sounds overly serious. She's trying to portray herself as a bad child, a bad girl, when really we watched you grow up. Like, you were very privileged growing up. Though I think the thing that you struggled the most as you were growing up is that like hairline that was being pulled back by your bows. But other than that, you had a pretty good life. That's what it seems, at least. So you calling yourself some like wild child and a bad girl, it's really cringe. Like, you're not any of that. You're JoJo Siwa. What are we talking about? You had like a pink Ferrari at one point, I believe. Like, just settle down. And that's not the purpose of the song. The purpose is just going at this girl that cheated on her or something like that. I honestly don't care. I don't care about JoJo Siwa enough to care about the lyrics of this track, especially since the lyrics of this track is over one of the most dated sounding beat you'll ever hear in 2024. It sounds like it should have been released in like the late 2000s. And yeah, not a fan. It's not a fun listen. It's a drag to go through. So that's my number 9. Number 8, we've got Camila Cabello with I Love It featuring Playboi Carti. Now, there's some elements I do like from this track. Mostly the production. The production's kind of cool. And some of Camila's portions are nice. However, the chorus is awful. It really is. I love it, 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 I love it. It's not a fun listen. It's so annoying. It's like being stabbed in the ear over and over again. I love it, 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 I love it. It's really bad, and Playboi Carti does not help at all. I do like the deep voice Carti that he's been utilizing lately, but over here, he just sounds awful. You can't understand him, which I guess is a thing for Carti, but still, it's awful. It was an awful way to end the track. He just is annoying as well. This song in general is very annoying to listen to. I don't understand its appeal. I don't like listening to it, so I recommend you to not listen to it as well. Number 7, we've got a joke to start things off. To start things off for number 7, what do you get when you get 3 sexual predators into a studio? You get On Board by Fivio, Kodak Black, and Donald Trump. Maybe not the funniest joke, but you know, this song is simply just a joke. This is a joke of a song. It's very cringy. It starts off by Donald Trump talking during one of his speeches. I could care less what he's talking about because, you know, it's Donald Trump. He just rambles about the most random stuff, and unfortunately he is going to be a president. Goddamn. But yeah, it starts off with us listening to Donald Trump, and for the rest of the track, it's just Fivio and Kodak Black glazing the man. Like, god damn, this is gayer than gay sex, bro. Like, what is this? They're glazing a Republican that's gonna make gas prices go higher because he doesn't understand how tariffs work. Like, this is the man we're working with here. He doesn't know how tariffs work. He doesn't know anything. He looks like he's on his deathbed, and we're glazing the man? Really? Fivio and Kodak Black, two grown men glazing Donald Trump for reasons I have no idea why, because there's really no good reason to like Donald Trump, to be part of that MAGA cult. So yeah, fuck these guys. Not a fan of the track. Generic ass beat as well. Yeah, this sucks. This really sucks. Moving on to number 6. We've got a diss track. Diss track. It's the year of the diss track, so why not talk about another one? And this time I am talking about J. Cole with 7-Minute Drill. One of the cringiest moments of the year is J. Cole putting himself into something that he should have never been in. He might have caught a stray on like that, but a stray doesn't warrant a diss track, especially a diss track this bad, so bad that he got mixed reviews from hip-hop fans. And I guess that hurt J. Cole because he eventually apologized in front of his own fans at Dreamville Fest. That whole situation is so cringy. One of the biggest bitch moves I've seen in hip-hop in my life. Yet the song is somehow cringy. This is an awful diss track with some of the worst disses I've ever seen in my life. We've got a lot of lines talking about Kendrick's short height, which was done in like a not so cool way. It was done very poorly. Even Drake had some funny lines about Kendrick's height on push-ups, and yet J. Cole couldn't muster something better. He's still doing shows but fell off. Like the Simpsons line is crazy, especially since, you know, the Simpsons is the longest running cartoon of all time. That's what we're comparing Kendrick with one of the most successful cartoons ever. Okay. We got J. Cole calling To Pimp a Butterfly boring, which is very ironic coming from J. Cole, who has never dropped an album as closely amazing as To Pimp a Butterfly. And one of his biggest criticisms of his music, J. Cole I'm talking about, is that it's so boring. I have struggled through several J. Cole projects because of how boring his cadence is or his beats are. J. Cole is one of the most boring and overrated rappers, and he's calling To Pimp a Butterfly boring. Okay. And yeah, there's several lines here it's just cringe. It really is, especially on the first half. The first half of the song has this awful beat as well. It's the second half that things pick up. The conductor beat on the second half is so much better. He should have rapped on that beat throughout the whole thing, but no, he started off with this weak ass beat with some weak ass bars, with some weak ass disses, and ended up looking like a complete loser, looking super weak himself, and ended up losing a rap battle to Kendrick without Kendrick even dropping a dedicated diss track to him. Isn't that crazy? First he got smoked by No Name, with No Name exposing J. Cole for being fake deep, for being uneducated, for not putting the work into trying to be better, trying to progress during the Black Lives Matter movement. Not only did No Name rip him to shreds years ago, but now Kendrick did the same thing without even dropping a diss track. That's crazy. This honestly pisses me off more than the Drake diss, because J. Cole on paper should have dropped a better diss track than Drake, but that was not the case. How does that happen? How do you make a worse diss track? The guy that made Passion Fruit. Like, you're supposed to be a rapper's rapper, and now you got your fans rewriting history, saying losing in a rap battle is not a big deal, which it is. This is something that hip-hop grew off of, you know? Hip-hop is a very competitive genre, and rap battle has been part of this amazing genre's history. And you guys demeaning all that history just because your favorite lost horribly by a rapper that dropped like one sneak diss towards him is crazy. It's crazy. We're rewriting history over J. Cole. Okay. Top five time. We got Meghan Trainor and T-Pain with Been Like This. God, I wish I didn't know this existed, because for the longest time I didn't. I just discovered it this December. I didn't know Meghan Trainor dropped an album, and I'll definitely be talking about that tomorrow. But today, let's talk about this weird ass song. It's supposed to be this like jazzy swing moment, and it just comes off very corny, very annoying. Meghan Trainor hasn't really evolved musically whatsoever. So yeah, there's really nothing special about this track. Not even T-Pain could save it. I don't know why T-Pain was a part of it to begin with, but I hope he got a bag for this, because this is annoying. This is cringy, hard to listen to. And yeah, this is a swing song. Swing music has been gentrified for years, and it seems like Meghan Trainor is trying to gentrify an already gentrified genre. Like, this is so bland. This really is very bland, very distasteful. This is just a hard listen, honestly. So that is my number 5. Number 4, let me give you a hit for number 4. From the screen to the ring to the pen to the king. Let's think of it. By KSI and Trippie Redd. What an annoying ass track, dude. This is such an obnoxious track from one of the most obnoxious people on the internet. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's annoying. The chorus is bad. It's hard to listen to. The pre-chorus as well. Trippie Redd is so insignificant on this track that you forget he's even on this track. Like, I'm sure when I said Trippie Redd out loud, I'm sure you guys just realized that he was on the track. And yeah, it's just like a overly serious track where KSI is flexing about the things he's supposedly good at and his successes, but who cares? You made Lunch Late, cool, okay. I really don't care. Yeah, the brain rot that came with this track is abysmal. Kind of funny, like the memes where like people are eating their lunch late while washing it down with a prime, listening to the new KSI song Thick of It, and watching the Hawk Tuah podcast with the Hawk Tuah girl. I like that silly side of this track, but yeah, again, I don't like this track. It's annoying. It has nothing interesting about it. The production sounds cheap as hell, and yeah, KSI finds new ways to disappoint me. Yippee. Number 3, speaking of new ways to disappoint me, let's talk about J. Cole again. Let's talk about J. Cole and Cobain with Grippy. Don't know what we were going for here. This is a very, very cringy track that I don't know why J. Cole decided to be a part of, because, Cobain is not necessarily known for being super lyrical or working with super lyrical rappers. He makes more like fun, upbeat hip-hop music, which is not an issue at all. The issue is that this song sucks. It really is. The lyrics here sucks as well. It's Grippy. It's a creepy ass track, dude. When she see me, she says she gonna strip me. She gonna chew on the stick like it's Wrigley's. Yeah, believe it or not, like Ripley's. She says she was gay until I slayed. Now she's strictly dickly. This is coming from J. Cole. J. Cole, who, again, a lot of people think he's like the greatest rapper of all time. How can you think that with tracks like these? Like, I know he's just trying to have fun. This isn't something that J. Cole does often, but a rapper from his caliber should not be saying Grippy so many times on a track. And yeah, there's not much else to say. I mean, J. Cole kind of stole the show in like a bad way, like in the worst way possible, to the point where like you forget Cobain is also on this track and provides basically nothing to it as well. Yeah, it's also very insignificant. So yeah, this is one of the cringiest songs I've heard this year, and I think I've said that a lot in this video, but like the title of the track is called Grippy. You got me, a grown man, saying Grippy several times out loud to the internet. Like, come on. Moving on, number 2, we've got another diss track. Let's go. The year of the diss tracks. We got a Nicki Minaj diss track with Bigfoot. This was towards Megan Thee Stallion after, I guess, Nicki heard Hiss by Megan Thee Stallion, which had this one really well done Megan's Law bar on it. And that's it. She mentions the Megan's Law bar. Does not say it was about Nicki's husband, who has done some disgusting things in the past. Does not mention Nicki at all on that track, but Nicki Minaj clearly heard the bar and was like, the shoe fits. So now I'm pissed off because my husband's a predator and no one's gonna go after my predator husband. So Nicki Minaj went off spiraling on this track. Like, she genuinely sounds mentally ill on this track, and I'm not trying to be rude. Like, she is off her rocker, genuinely. This is one of the most brain dead diss tracks I've ever heard. Mostly making fun of Meghan's foot and how big it is and how it got shot. Okay. Bringing up Meghan's dead mom. Stuff like that. And done in just a very distasteful way. Like, not even like a funny way. Not even like, Meghan, she got you there. She got you there. No, like, what are you doing, Nicki? Like, this is sad. This is desperate. You're desperately trying to offend Meghan, which I don't think worked because Meghan doesn't not acknowledge this whatsoever. Nicki was trying so hard to piss her off, and Meghan like did not care. She was like, don't care. I don't hear nothing. This is sad. We got some ironic bars about liposuction. Okay, Nicki. Okay, well-known non-user of plastic surgery, Nicki Minaj. Okay. One of the worst parts here is the outro, which has like no production, super long, and it's just Nicki just spiraling, talking nonsense, mumbling at times, giving out these like fake threats. It's just a sad song to listen to, honestly. Like, you're supposed to be a legend, a female rapper legend. So many rappers are inspired by Nicki Minaj. We see it all the time with the likes of Doja Cat, Doechii even. And I'm sure Megan Thee Stallion has been inspired by Nicki's work as well. And this is what you're doing. Not only going after another female rapper once again, but making one of the worst diss tracks I've heard in my life. Like, this is the worst diss track I've heard this year. And there's been a lot of diss tracks. I talked about 2 awful ones. And yet this one is still somehow worse than the 2 I already talked about. That's crazy. Honestly. You're supposed to be a rap legend. And you're doing this. Pull yourself together. You're a grown woman. You're pushing 40, I think. Grow up a bit. Like, come on, bro. So yeah, that's number 2. Put your guesses down below. What's gonna be number 1? What's gonna be the worst track of the year? Drum roll, please. Tom MacDonald and Ben Shapiro with Facts. I'll give you a fact for you. This shit sucks. This shit's ass. This is dookie, garbage, poo-poo, caca. This is awful. Awful track. And what do you expect coming from some failed white Canadian wrestler and a nerd-ass grifter coming together for a rap track? Come on. Like, Ben Shapiro doesn't even think rap music is music, and he's coming on this track sounding so dorky, rapping on this track, talking about how his pockets are fat like Lizzo. Okay. Like, I'm sure it is with you grifting all these old people from their money over the years, shilling for Republican money. I'm sure it is fat. Like, you're a modern day con man. You got it. But yeah, this track is supposed to be trying to offend people like me who, have a heart, who have some brains up here, supposed to offend the educated, essentially. Talking about how woke is bad, offending good, bringing up some like racist points, some bigoted points. And although, yeah, what they're saying is not good, the more offensive part of this is the rapping here. It's more offensive than anything they've said, because Tom MacDonald has a history of being a shitty ass rapper, and he's continuing that on Facts, this time including one of the biggest nerds I've ever seen in my life, Ben Shapiro. Like, honestly, if these two just disappeared, life would be better. I'm not trying to say anything, but at the same time, if they somehow disappeared, the world would be a better place. We would have less hateful stuff. We would have less horrible voices to listen to. Tom MacDonald finds a new way to be even cornier than he already is, finds a new way to rap even worse than he has already had, and finds a way to impress the uneducated, the gullible, the ones that believe that we're like canceling Christmas or whatever. Like, there's a lot of stupid people in this country, and they're listening to a Canadian, mind you, about things that should be improved in this country. Okay, like, come on. So yeah, Facts, the worst song of the year, made by 2 losers who, if they didn't end up getting success online, they probably would have shot up a school, honestly. Yeah, fuck these guys. Fuck this list. This was hard to compile because there were several songs in contention, but I believe these are the 10 worst of the year. And hopefully you agree. But yeah, I'm done here. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, makes sense, right? Comment down below. What is the worst song of the year for you? Mine is Facts by Tom MacDonald and Ben Shapiro. What is yours? Leave it down below. If you like music related content like this, please subscribe, since that is what I do here. And if you're already subscribed and you want more of this for some reason, check out my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you like basketball, more specifically NBA basketball, I have a basketball podcast. It's called Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. Check it out if you're interested. But yeah, I'm done here. So thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Goodbye. Bye-bye.